Hey, welcome back, friends. If you want to join the friends, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. So today we are going to be talking about discovering new items. Now, if you don't already know, for the first 2 weeks, you will be getting an extra 50% XP off of this. So that's why I want to release this as soon as possible. That way you guys do not miss that 2-week grace period. As you can see down here, the latest invention update early bird bonus is currently active. You will gain 50% XP on all blueprints discovered until Sunday the 1st of October. So make sure you get as many blueprints in as you can. And now that they don't cost any inspiration, you should be getting every single possible thing that you can. I personally kind of left a couple pieces and parts undiscovered just because I didn't want to waste my inspiration, but now I should be discovering everything. So basically the prototyping is going to be the exact same way as it always has been. You just kind of randomly guess until you guess the right 5 components. I'm sure there's a better way of doing it, but it only takes 20 seconds, so don't even worry about it. So basically, again, just randomly place them in, and you will most likely, let's go ahead and have a poor selection to start out with. Now, basically, what you want to do is I'm going to teach you the brute force way of doing this. It's quite possibly the best way of doing it. If you fully understand the mechanics, you can do it a little bit better, but it's not worth teaching you guys all the mechanics just to save you 5 seconds. By the time I taught you all the mechanics, it would be insanely useless. So basically, all you do is you take whatever is in the first slot and switch it out with the second slot. That made a better selection, so let's do it again. Switch out the first with the second slot, it made it worse, move it back. First with the third slot, made it worse, move it back. First with the fourth, made it worse, move it back. That's all you do. You just basically randomly pick which one, or pick up a slot and just try to switch it out with all 4 of them. If it's better, leave it as is, start again. So it wasn't better, or switching the first slot with any of these next 4 did not make it better, so we're going to go and move on to the second slot. Now the second slot we already know is not better with the first slot because we swapped that out. So all we have to do is swap swap the second component slot with 2, 3, and 4. So swap it out with 2, it's the same, 3 is the same, and 4 is going to be worse. So I think I have something a little bit tricky with this first one because there's 3 of these are all the same, doesn't matter which slot they are in. So let's just go ahead and test it out. 3 with 4. Oh, got used perfect. So brute force worked this time. So go ahead and invent that, and I get 13,000 experience. That's why you're going to want to be doing every single one of these, because they all give you amount of experience. Hopefully you're doing it while leveling up. I personally left a lot of these to be discovered for later just because I didn't want to use up my inspiration. So let's go ahead and do one more, and hopefully I find something a little bit tricky. If I do not, I will come back as soon as I find something a little bit tricky. But poor selection, we're expecting that with the first slot. Gave you satisfactory, leave it as it is. So flip out 1 with 3, equal, 1 with 4, equal, and 1 with 5, and it made it worse. So then move over to slot number 2, 2 with 3, equal, 2 with 4, made it better. So basically whenever that happens, start again from the first slot. 1 with 2, the same, 1 with 3 the same, 1 with 4 worse, and 1 with 5 is worse. So go 2, 2, 3, and made it perfect. So as you can see, the brute force method works quite often. You basically just switch out every component with every other component, and a lot of times you end up with a perfect. I will do a couple of these and hopefully come back with a time that it doesn't happen like that. Okay, so I should have just left this recording going. Basically, the very next thing that I tried had this exact scenario that I was talking about. So we're going to swap out every single component with every other component, and it doesn't get any better, unfortunately. The best thing that we can hope for is to just stay at the good condition. Now, basically, the reason why this is happening is because there is 2 possible good conditions. It's just the mechanic that they had before. There's basically one perfect, one excellent, two good, two unsatisfactory, and then multiple poor conditions. And they used to actually change the amount of inspiration that you are using to actually discover these, but now because they just considered good optimization to be good optimization, you can't actually tell if it's the better or the worse good condition, which is extremely frustrating. So what I'm going to do to get around this is you check which ones are going to be, or you're going to want to find the three components that when you swap out all stay good. So for me, I already know that it's going to be with the first and second one. When I swap those out, it's going to remain good, and the first and the fifth one is going to remain good. And all you do is you want to move, basically switch all three of them so they're in a different location. Basically, this is just going to be the best way of swapping up how it works. We're going to have to shuffle it up a little bit because that's the only possible way that I can think of to actually basically stop the method from breaking. So what you do is you take whatever the last one is, swap it with the one that's going to make it good still, and then swap it with the other one that's going to make it good. In this case, it actually made it excellent. The reason why I'm doing it this way is because when I know that all three of them are going to remain at good, I know that there's a good chance that they're actually swapping to or at least one or two of the components are swapping to a place that they're actually supposed to be going to. So that's why I want to just swap all three of those and figure out where I want to go from there. So we ended up with an excellent, which is perfect. That's exactly what you want to happen. If it doesn't end up with an excellent, it ends up with just staying good, what you're going to want to do is start cycling through the way that you did before, just with everything shuffled up a little bit. And you should end up with an excellent or a perfect at some point. So we're going to start swapping again, one with 2, one with 3, one with 4, and one with 5. End up with one with 4 with perfect. So there we go. That's how you get out of that little rut there. If you end up with just the best you can possibly make by swapping out any two components is good. What you're going to want to do is swap out the 3 components that are going to remain at good, or don't lower down your optimization here. You're going to swap all 3 of those, just switch them up so that they all move over one space to the left or one space to the right, and then go and start brute forcing it again, and it should work. I personally have not ever had a time that I had to do it more than once. It has always worked for me, but there are slight chance that you end up getting really unlucky and it doesn't end up working for you. If that happens, just do it over and over again and you will eventually get it. Unfortunately, this does make it a little bit slower. It's just an oversight from Jagex. It was very easy before, and now that they changed up everything, they didn't even think about there being 2 good conditions and not being able to distinguish which one is which. It's kind of unfortunate, but it's not too bad if you know that trick to fix it. If you guys all enjoyed this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. I'd love it if you leave a like and a comment as well. If this helped you all, leave it down in the comments. I know a lot of people are struggling with that good condition or the unsatisfactory condition not being able to get any better than good. And some people are even just compromising with lesser amounts of experience. Do not compromise. Use this method. As always, though, have a good one.